Okay. Um, Before I start, I've made a few changes on my stream here. I kind of want to see how everything is working, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so I should be like louder than ever now, which is good. That was my goal. I also have like a few things up there that I'm plugging, and then I've updated over here. I've updated the follower goal thing to look a little bit nicer. So those are things that I've done off stream here. Um, so yeah, let's start producing again. Let me make sure. I think my volume is too loud. Give me 1 second. Okay, I didn't want to blow my ears out there. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. It was almost done too. Well, that gives us an idea of where we're at. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I did a little something off stream. Sorry, I'm working with two mice because my Apple mouse is broken, but I like it more, so I'm using that to scroll. But I'm using my like gaming mouse to like move. It's very weird. Um, we'll work through it though. I have these two compressors here. This first compressor is going to be to sidechain for the 909 kick, and then the second one is going to sidechain the lower bassier kick that we have going on. But before we do that, it's finally time. I've been putting it off way too long. I need to organize these tracks right here. They're in random order, just as I had pulled them in as I needed them, and they're not in any like logical fashion, and they need to be pretty much. So we're gonna do a little bit of organization. So what I like to do is I like to put the drums on top of everything. So we're gonna move these drums. I think this is how you move stuff. We will see. I'm gonna move these drums right up at the top here. Yep, right there. So that's the first set of drums, and then the second set we have, because we have two entire drum kits going on, is this 909 core right here. I'm going to move that even on top of that one. So now we have our two drum kits on top of each other at the top here. And on top of that, along with your drum kits and percussion and stuff, you also want your, where are they? The claps here. It's a part of percussion technically, so you want the claps to go up with the percussion, right down here. Are they in the right spot? Yes, they are. Okay. Let's see what else would need to move here. We have the sub bass. We want the sub bass up there with them. All right, right there. Okay. And then what else do we need? Then we need the sound effects. So it really depends on where you want to put them. Okay, so the notification did come out. Good, good, good. Thank you. I was worried there. Either the sound effects can go up on the top with the percussion, or they can go all the way at the bottom. I'm going to experiment by putting them all the way at the bottom. I've never done that before. I've usually put them at the top, but I'm going to try to put them at the bottom. So these two are going to be moved slowly but surely down to the bottom here. All right, there we go. Now that we got that, we need to work on the middle chunk, the meat of the song here. So we want the highs kind of near the top, just as a general rule, just because it makes logical sense to do that. So we're probably going to want to... Oh, I completely forgot about the cymbals, by the way. Cymbals go up with percussion, of course, above this clap here. That should work. Let me make sure. See, my scrolly thing's not working. There we go. Yes, okay. Now that we got that, I forgot about that, sorry. We're gonna want to move up the highs to the top. We got this square harp here. It's kind of high, but it's rarely used, so we're not gonna put that as the highest. I would much rather put this guitar, even though it's rarely used, at the highest, right here. This is because it probably is the highest instrument we have other than the bass drop stuff, or not the bass drop, but the drop of the song. These two instruments right here, we're going to save those for a completely different section. So let's do the guitar first, and then we're going to put the square harp up above that. And then you see it immediately goes into the bass guitars, which we don't want. We want like a middle range. Oh, the xylophone actually. The xylophone is the highest by far, so it's going up there. Sorry, this is scatterbrained. This is me just trying to figure out on the spot where everything should go for organization's sake, because I've been putting this off for 6 months, believe it or not. Okay, so we have the highs, these 3 tracks right here. We need the mids now, the actual substance of the song here. We have the actual drop instruments are going to be our mids, our mid ranges, even though they get kind of high and they get kind of low. They're going to be counted as our mid range here. And then it goes into our bass guitars. We can either do that, or we can move this bass, what is this? A bass sequencer above that, which I'm kind of leaning towards, only because it gets kind of high in some places, and it's definitely higher than the bass guitars often are. So I'm going to go ahead and move that above them. And then we have this growl here. I'm going to solo it just to kind of get a feel of what it is. That's a bad example because it's quiet. So that's our growl. It goes below the drops here. So because it goes below the drops, and it sounds kind of mid, even though it's a very bassy sound, we're going to go ahead and move it above the basses. So now we have the drop right here. The main substance of the drop is all in one section, the mids. We have the accompanying or introductory bass line, which is the double bass guitars and the bass sequencer, as the lows. And then up at the top, we have the xylophone, the guitar, the regular guitar, and then the square harp as the high, pretty flowery sounds, I guess. Even though the guitar is like not flowery at all. But so yeah, now what we got to do is we kind of got to group these. We have to group tracks now. So I'm going to group these for the percussion lines. Group tracks. I'm going to rename this group as percussion. Right. Now we can close it and forget about it. Now we have these sub bass. I'm going to leave it on its own for now. We might find a home for it in a second. And then we have the rest of it. All of this stuff. So all of this stuff is pretty much included in the melody and the harmony of the song. So we group them all together. Rename. Main lines. So there's our main lines. So as you can see, we've collapsed everything down to very simple, small track here. We have our percussion in one tab. We have the sub bass, which I guess we can move down. It makes the most sense to me. We have the percussion, we have the main lines, which is the whole mess of stuff. And then we have the sub bass. So now, I mentioned earlier that we have these two compressors here. Now originally I had them on the main track, and you don't want that on the main track because compressing the entire track is going to make it sound terrible. Sorry, I'm hungry, so I'm eating. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take the two compressors and put them onto this grouped main lines track. So now you see they're on the main lines track, and they're no longer, let me scroll over here, they are no longer on the main master track. So now, hopefully I've configured this correctly. We can turn them on and it'll sound completely different. Okay. Hopefully, I haven't tried this yet. Hopefully, if everything went right and I play it, the bass, the kick drums are going to stand out a ton. And we can of course configure it accordingly. So that's just kind of a taste of what it's changing. Like I said, it's not configured. I guessed on the settings that I had to use to make it sound decent. I could kind of tell that the first compressor that I had, the 909 one, didn't quite do the job. I have to change that a little bit, which was expected. The second one, it did too good of a job, so I had to turn it down midway through. It still needs configuring as well. But regardless, mainly I did two things there. I grouped the tracks in order to make it easier for me to organize. And then I also grouped the tracks in order to put these two compressors on all the mainline stuff, so I can go ahead and let the kick drums shine above the rest, because this is supposed to be a bassy song. So yeah, so we got that. So let's focus on perfecting, or changing rather, the settings of these little little compressors here. Give me 1 second. Got to get over to this. I think these are bass hits, or excuse me, kick hits. Yes, it's the kick. You can't see it, it's a little small on the screen, but it says kick, which is what matters. Oh, sorry, this is the Tomorrow kit. This is the one that actually worked. Let me rewind, sorry. It's right here. These kicks right here is what I need to configure. And I have a feeling I know what went wrong. Give me 1 second. Got a text. Hold on, sorry. I'm checking something. One second. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, I have a feeling I know what went wrong, and it's pretty easy fix. So let's play it again. So if you look down here at my cursor, down at the bottom left, you can kind of see this GR bar, this middle bar. It's kind of pulsing, which that's the goal. We want that to pulse. Okay. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Alright, I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay. So this little kick here, we need to perhaps change this setting here. I have it on pre-effects. I need to put it on post-effects. I think that's the key to making it sound a little bit poppier. All right, it's starting to pop. We have the poppiness of it. We might need to change the attack and release of it a little bit. That's a little better. It might be dampening the entire track on accident here. That just might be a result of the post effects that I have on the actual 909 here. It's kind of what I'm thinking is happening. You can see this orange at the bottom left is constantly on. We don't want that. We are getting closer. This is a really tough kick drum to configure, just because the nature of its sound is so punchy to begin with. It's punchy yet simple. It lives within a very small frequency range, so we want to kind of single that frequency range out and amplify it. That's kind of what I'm trying to do with the dials in the corner. I think we found it. I think this is good for now. So we got that kind of taken care of, that one kick drum. Now we kind of got to do it for the other kick drum, this one. It's already pretty close to what I want it to be. I have an idea of how to make it even better. Let me open up the main lines again, go to this compressor. Let me play it one more time. Okay, I hate to cut it off there, but I think I did as good of a job as I can do in a short amount of time. Um, that's the kind of thing that takes hours off stream doing, just sitting here tinkering like zero point zero 0.01 um, milliseconds on each attack and release. That's a very precise thing to do, so I'm not going to do it on stream. I just kind of wanted to apply the compressor to it just for the difference of sounds. I'm going to go ahead and group these compressors here. So we can listen to it. We can listen to it with and without compression in the kick drums here. I'm going to start it where the kick drums come in. Okay, so it's sounding better already. Um, we're still missing that one thing that kind of makes it into an entire song instead of just a little fun tune. Um, but that is also something I'm going to have to find off stream. It's a little thing that it takes a lot of tinkering, a lot of trial and error, a lot of searching, because it could be anywhere. That one key piece, it's missing like one little piece to kind of make it into one whole thing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we're pretty much near completion with this, um, minus a few places I can tweak stuff here and there, a few dynamic changes I can make, a few balance issues in other places, very minute, minor things that need to be changed right now. So I'm going to kind of go through it like chunk by chunk and kind of verbally say what needs to be changed yet. It's for both you guys and for me, because I'm going to watch this back and kind of remind myself from time to time what needs to be done yet, what needs to be improved, what needs to be taken out or added, and stuff like that. So I'm going to play the first part of it here. Okay, so in the introductory part here, it was pretty good. I'm going to actually try to use my normal mouse without it breaking on me. It was pretty good. There was a part where I felt something could be brought up a little bit, and I think it might have been this. I have to check and make sure. Oh, there goes my mouse. Back to this. Nope, it wasn't that. I don't think it was either of these bass guitars. It's something, I can't recall what it was. It's something with the same line. It must be the harp here. Must be that. I feel like it needs to be brought up in volume a little bit. Because otherwise it sounds like a mistake. And you really don't want things to sound like a mistake. You want them to sound purposeful and impactful. So I'm going to try to bring it up a little bit. So now I'm hearing that it's probably in a key that it shouldn't be. Not necessarily that the key doesn't work, just that the key is probably not what we want. So let's see what we can change this to. We can bring it to a D. That's the safe bet, is to try it with D. See, now that sounds fine because it's in the home key. D doesn't seem to sound right, even though I know some of the notes are off, but you should be able to get the idea of it. See, that's not right. Perhaps we can bring it down a little bit. We have it on B here, the home key. G sharp, maybe? Oh, of course, G sharp is what we had originally. That's why I was thinking that was such a safe bet. It's something with the key here is not right. Something ain't working, which is kind of weird. Alright, so it doesn't seem like I don't want to call it counterpoint because it's not really a counterpoint. Alright, let's try it there on the home key. Let's go to this one. Yes, we have it in B. Okay, we want it low there. We'll probably want this to follow what the melody is doing. Oops, let me start it right here. Yes, it sounds a lot more natural there. And then we have the higher B, what we just changed. Let's see if this one works. It probably doesn't. See that? This second one also probably needs to be up here. Yes, and then this can be high B. Right. Now that's going to go down to, is it an F that it goes down to, or is it F? Yes, F sharp. Okay, so that sounds a lot better. That's what my main concern was when I was listening to it. Let's focus on this xylophone now. So it has a bit of an echo on it, which I like. I remember putting that there many moons ago. Let me make sure the keys are all right here. Got low B flat, B1, or low B, rather, low B1. We got F sharp right here. I did not listen to this. Let me listen here. key change coming up. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing with this one that I did with the other one. Instead of going down, we're going to go up with it. Dun, 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 maybe. That kind of works. Let me make sure it's what I did with everything else, because I don't think it is. This, of course, is in the key of B. It's going up 2. Of course, that does not mean it's going up 2 in this one. This one's going up... wait, did I say 2? It's going up 3, rather. It's going up 4 here, which I think makes sense, because you skip... If we move it down one, it's not going to sound right. It sounds dissonant if you do that. So let's go over here. That one bends down. This one should bend up. Yes, like normal. Also kind of bends up. Okay, we're good. Let's listen to it all together and make sure it's actually the right thing that I just did. Yes, I was right. Alright, it sounds a lot smoother and a lot better. So the reason I changed those keys a little bit is to kind of draw the listener's attention away from the repetitive bass guitar. Because the bass guitar stays in the key of B the entire time. It just changes octaves every once in a while. So you want something a little bit different to kind of draw the listener away from it once it gets a little bit too boring. So that's kind of why I did that. I'm going to listen through it one more time. I also think it's important to note that I am ignoring the percussion altogether when listening to this. I'm only listening to what I call the main lines here. Almost forgot to unmute myself. All right. Another thing I just noticed is that this growl that I love so much, I didn't even do anything to. I just kind of kept it really quiet for some reason. Let's try it with actual volume this time. Okay, I can hear it a little bit more. I'm afraid I'm using a less effective rhythm than I should be. Kind of feeling like instead it should be on the upbeats. Nope, not quite. Maybe just on downbeats. Let me try it slightly away from the downbeat. So it's going to go da 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 da. Now it just feels too crazy, too busy. How long do these go for? Okay, they go for the entire length of a beat. I can of course change how long they go for, but that would affect the entire track and I don't want to do that. What we can do to make this more effective is to change these. To give it a more growly kind of tone. Basically what I did was I shifted the bottom line up 5 notes. 5 notes in the key. So we can listen to that soloed and we can kind of hear the difference between the shifted 5 up and the normal octave ones that I had. You can hear how the shifted 5 up has more punch to it. It has more graininess that I like. It has more grain. We can even do a bit more with that if we select these 4 and add them back to the bottom here. But at that point it might have too much grain. If we separate out the notes like that, it takes away a little bit of that the interference that it has with itself, that graininess that I'm talking about, but keeps the layered sounds. So we can go ahead and try that. Here, let's listen to the difference between just the octaves here and then the 3 line with the octaves plus the raised 5th. So you might hear how the octaves on their own has a bit more depth to it just because it's lower, which we want that lower. So we can take this higher stuff that we did and bring it down. I take back what I said. Ooh, now I got myself second guessing. How about this? This is generally not something you should do. Play 3 octaves over each other. I'm going to go ahead and switch it back. Switch back to that raised fifth. I do like that a lot better, actually. Let's listen to it all. Ooh, okay. So now you might notice that it doesn't quite fit with everything that we already have, which I was fearing would happen. So we can take this, go ahead and delete it. And then we're going to have to go and, oh boy, we're going to have to take this, bring it back down, and then raise. This is a whole lot of stuff we're doing right now. So now it kind of lives within the same range that it used to, but it's just a little bit less aggressive. Take that, delete that. Still a little bit too aggressive. This is difficult. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to revert what we just did. There we go. It's back to normal. I know I spent a long time on that. I'm sorry. It was just something I needed to experiment with just because I wasn't fully happy with the sound that it was making. Here might be where we can change some stuff. The second repeat of it here. We can change this to full eighth notes here. We can actually go ahead and do the same for these. Cool. All right, that's what that needed. Just a little bit of tweaking here and there. All right, now this build up is causing me a little bit of trouble here. I don't know what to do with it. It feels empty, even though there's so much going on. So, oops. I want this bass line that we have going on here to almost completely drop. Which means the same thing for the sub bass. I pretty much want it to cease to exist. Cool. So now that the bass is gone, let's listen to it. With this guitar here, I kind of want to bring it up an entire octave. That's a lot better. Let me listen to it one more time because I was only paying attention to that guitar. A couple things. With this bass sequencer here, we need it to shine a lot more. So I'm guessing we have to actually boost it a little bit, maybe 5 decibels up. That's better. And then this bass line here drops out a little bit too early. Already a lot better. I'm going to bring the bass sequencer up even more. Better. So we brought the guitar up, we brought the bass sequencer up in volume. I think that's good for the drop there, or the build up rather. Okay. I want to see what happens if I just delete these. I don't know. The rise gate definitely builds too quickly. Or it gets to where it arrives too quickly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's a little bit better. Let's bring it down even more. That's where we want it to be. I actually want to add a few audio effects to this, what is it? A super seesaw right here. The da-da-da-da. That part. Just to make it stand out even more. Make it a little bit more pleasant to listen to. maybe the same thing with this this what is it called? Dual amped heavy guitar. Maybe a little bit with that one as well. But other than that, I think the drop is all right. Okay, I said I wasn't going to touch the percussion, but the claps there are way too loud. I think the claps are in the Tomorrow bass, or the Tomorrow kit. They are, so I can actually individually do this. The volume on them doesn't seem to be changing pretty much at all. Unless, what is this showing here? Is this oh, this might be velocity, actually. Let me fix that. Should be volume now. Nope. Never mind, we won't touch it. Again, that's another thing I can do off stream. Kind of correct things in the drum area. Let's get back. I want to make those single notes a little bit shorter to kind of emphasize the silence. Let me cut the other ones down a little bit. They're up here. That's a lot better. Really makes the silence stand out. Because silence is not something the listener gets throughout any of this song, except for this part. So I kind of want to experiment with this line here. That heavy guitar you hear. No, I think that's good where it is. If I bring it up, it's a little bit too high. If I bring it down, it's a little bit too low. So I think it's fine where it is. what I'm fascinated about is the fact that you can barely even hear a difference between this, what you see on screen here, and this. Two very different octave, or I mean, two very different I wouldn't say patterns, just layouts here. Very close together here. You have a B2 with an F sharp 3. Here you have a B1 with an F sharp 3. So I brought the entire bottom line down an octave, and you can barely hear a difference. It's weird, but I think it should stay. All right. So the second drop here is infinitely more complex than the first one. Even though it's the same rhythm and the same melody, it's insanely different. There's a lot more changes, there's a lot more intricate parts and pieces moving around. It's a lot bigger, and it's a lot faster. So all right. So I want to take this opportunity now to kind of go back to the beginning and listen to it all the way through, because it's been an entire hour since we've done that. So let's go ahead and listen to what all we got so far. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic so there's no interference. Okay, so that's kind of what we got so far. That's what we got going. Um, Now I kind of want to take the time to um, address a couple things that some people brought up in my last few streams of this. I got the question, what genre is variations? And I didn't have an answer for that. Actually, let me go into full cam. Hello. Um, yeah, I didn't really have an answer for that. I was very confused as to what to respond because I originally went into this thinking it was complextro, that genre of electronic music, um, mainly because my idea of it was that it was growly, it was glitchy at times, and then it has a house-like beat on top of it. It has like you can feel the pulse, you can feel the rhythm. That's kind of what house-like means. Um, but then as time went on, it became something a little bit more than complextro. It kind of became its own little subgenre, basically. I can best describe this as oh wait, it seemed like I heard the same line 40 times in a row. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. The title of this track is called Variations, meaning that the entire theme is it's literally one melodic line that's repeated many times um, in different ways every single time. So there wasn't one point in there where the melody was the exact same. It was either in different keys with different timbral qualities or textural qualities, meaning like different instruments were playing them at different times or stacked on top of each other and whatnot. It was different every time, and that's kind of where variations comes into it. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, it became something a little bit more than complextro. I can only describe it as a combination of complextro and like hard dance or hard techno, where you have like this noisy, high energy, oversaturated melody on top of this growly, glitchy, house like bass line. It's really a combination of those two genres. Um, Another question I got last stream was if I was going to release this on a label. Um, but why variations? So this is kind of an homage to my old style of composition. Um, my old style of composition was quite literally taking one simple melody and transforming it over the course of the song. So you'll hear the same melody over and over and over again. Um, is this some school project or something? No. This has been something I've been experimenting with for the past 6 months, actually. Um, so, what was I saying? Right. The my old music was quite literally taking a melody and making a variation out of it throughout the piece. It's something that I drew inspiration from the composer Beethoven. Beethoven quite frequently did I want to call it motifs, where you would take this main melodic idea and over the course of a symphony or a piano sonata or something like that, you would transform it through different textures and instruments and stuff like that. So basically, what you do is you just vary it, you make it variations. So, as an homage to what I used to do and the inspirations that I used to draw from, I wanted to make a track that kind of sounded similar to what I used to make. You have been working on that song for 6 months. Off and on, yes. I would probably say I've spent 50 hours going through this. 50, I'd say 50. It's not close. it's not really close to done. As of yet, I still have a lot of tweaking and a lot of places to insert energy into. I have a lot of different things, a lot of different ideas that I can only do off stream, just because the time it would take to do it would be too great for a stream. It would just be too boring to watch, basically. Um, so you need to finish that track, my dude. Yeah, um, I do need to finish the track. I completely agree with you. But at the same time, I don't want to rush anything because even though it's an homage to my old tracks, all of my old tracks are rushed and not done and incomplete and boring and stupid. And the list goes on and on of all the negative things I could say about my old music. Um, I would be pissed if I hired you. Well, yeah, that's why I do it on my own, in my own time. I take my time and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing the little perfectionist, nitpicky things every once in a while that help me out. Oh my gosh, if I got paid by the hour for this, oh, I would love it. I'm not getting paid at all. um, 50 hours isn't too bad though. Right. A lot of producers spend an average of about 100 hours plus per track. And that's being conservative about it. Um, that's not including all of the promotional stuff they have to do for it. That's not including all of the, if it's a collaboration, all the back and forth that goes on. It's just pure creation is that conservative number there. We would work on songs for around 50 hours, but wouldn't charge a lot. Yeah, you wouldn't charge all those hours, right? Mostly studio coordinating arrangement, right? Yeah, the cool thing about this is that I do this as a hobby on my own time, and I have fun with it. I don't let anything stress me. I don't commit myself to any contracts or anything like that. It's just for me, and for everybody who wants to listen and tune in and enjoy and whatnot. That being said, I got a question last week about whether I would be self-releasing this or trying to get this onto some sort of label or music group. So I have never even tried to get anything on a label, so I'm pretty unfamiliar with the entire process. I do have 3 labels that I'm looking at and I'm interested in right now. The first of which is the Tasty Network. Um, they're pretty good at promoting up and coming artists and in the electronic section. And they also allow other creators online, like people who do YouTube and people who stream on Twitch and whatnot, to use the music as long as they credit both the network, the Tasty Network, and the artist themselves. So I thought that was really cool. And it seemed like it would be a good fit for this complextro slash hard techno song, or hard dance rather. The term hard dance and hard techno are sometimes interchangeable and sometimes not, which is hard to do. Hard to differentiate between the two. So yeah, that's the first one, the Tasty Network. I'm gonna look into them, research it a little bit more, see if that's a right fit for me, and if I want to actually release it on a label. Still deciding that. But if I were to release on a label, it might be Tasty. Another one is the Arcadium. Um, you may or may not know this producer, the Fat Rat. One of my all-time favorite producers. Awesome, cool guy. It's his network with Universal. Partnered with Universal. Make tracks and go play them at venues. Yes, that is also something I want to get into. Um, yes, the mingling aspect of it and the DJ side of it, I also want to get into. It's just a matter of finding the venues, being able to doing, afford doing that with all the equipment required and stuff, and then getting used to that equipment. It's a major obstacle for me, the funding part of it. So yeah, the Arcadium, it's basically a collection of music that you could listen to while playing video games of any kind. And the genres within the label range from 8-bit or chiptune all the way to dubstep. It's a very wide range of electronic genres in that. Um, the last one that we have on my list right now, I haven't fully gone into. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Relative Minor. By the way, I didn't even mention I love your name. um, um, right. So the last label that I'm looking into right now, I still got to research all of these. Like I've said, is the Diversity. I forget what they're called. Diversity Recordings, I think, is what they're called. It's a network for emerging artists or up and coming artists. Um, it allows for, again, creators that want to use their music can, and they won't get copyright claimed and whatnot. Um, so that's a huge thing for me. I want my music to be readily available to anybody who wants to use it. I don't want to be like a hog, so to speak, even though like artists have to, because that's how they make money. They have to bring it into their own sphere. It's theirs. They don't want to just release it and say, here, it's all of yours now. And I get that, but being as this is my hobby, I much prefer giving my music out and making it readily available for everybody. So that's why I chose the Tasty Network, the Arcadium, and Diversity Recordings as the three that I'm looking at right now. And I also didn't mention Diversity focuses heavily on complextro tracks. So yes, so that would be a pretty good fit for this track. Yes. Let me, during my little label spiel here, I got another text, so give me 1 second. Do. Okay. Sorry. I'm arranging plans for post-stream right now. Probably not the best time to do it, but sometimes you gotta. So let's go back to this thingy. So yeah, as just a little recap, I got the question, what is variations in terms of genre, complextro / hard dance, and then what label do I want? Either I'm going to self-release it, just say screw it, here you go, or I'm going to put it on the Tasty Network, the Arcadium, or Diversity Recordings. Those are the three I'm looking at. So yeah. Now I kind of want to go into looking at the percussion here. Because it's decent right now, but I don't feel it's up to par. It's not impactful enough. And I keep going back to the word impactful because I want this track to be as impactful as possible. Just because you hear the same thing over and over and over again, there needs to be popping, like things that pop out at you, things that grab your attention. So that's kind of what my goal is now in this ending section of this track. I also remember when listening back to this whole thing, these measures right, whoops, these measures right here concerned me in particular. Okay. Ooh, my voice. Holy crap. Voice is going and it's only been an hour and a half. I like the build up now. I didn't before, but I like it now. Again, it's these lines right here that are concerning me a little bit, just because things start to clash a little bit, and I can't tell if I like it or not. I can't tell if it's acceptable enough to clash these notes together, like I'm doing. Let me close this. Oh, too much closing. There we go. I'm gonna have to listen to it from the beginning, actually. See here, everything kind of works, it fits, because it's in the same key. It's very simple. It's introducing the melody. Okay. This. I want to solo this because it's still, oh my gosh. Again, I'm using two mice right now because my Apple mouse is broken. And it's the one that has the side scroll thing that I really like. So I'm using two mice. One that only scrolls and then one that only moves. So that. I don't like that. Why did I write that? Where is it? This note. I think it's this note. Yeah, that change doesn't quite work. That might work. It's a little bit strange. Unlike anything thus far that we've had put in here. Very strange jump. You can't really hear it. Let me really try to focus in on it. Both earbuds coming out here. Yeah, you can barely hear it, but it works. So I'm going to keep it for now. Of course, it's probably going to change soon. Let me check and make sure my texts haven't come through. Okay. Sorry, I got to keep an eye on my phone. The sub. I don't know if I like the sub throughout this entire thing, actually. I don't know if it was my poor choice in sub base or what. You guys might not be able to hear this at all. Twitch might cut out this frequency. Then it fades. So right here, maybe I don't like it because it's not prominent enough. Right here, it's very quiet. And I'm not sure why I wrote that like I did. See, because right here, in like the, I always forget what to call it, between the drops, whatever that middle section is, maybe development, I'm not sure what to call it in this text context. See, but in this section, I have it at negative 10 decibels, which I don't understand why I wrote. Oh, and I just forgot to put it in the second drop, question mark? That's cool. Maybe that's what was weird about that as well. I'm going to bring it up, regardless. I'm going to bring it up. Let's go to negative 15 decibels. Let's try that. Give the bridge, yeah, the interlude. This whole song sounds like a bridge because the constant ascending. Yes. It's very unique, is what I like to refer to it as. Okay, now I can feel the sub. I can feel the sub. Where is it? I found something I did not like again. For one, what is this? Why is it like this? Maybe that's why I didn't like it. It was written wrong. What is going on here? Hold on, I need to like break down what's going on right now. That's right. Is that right? Why is it like that? Why is it on an E? Who wrote this? Oops. There we go. I don't know why it was like that. Oh, that's why it was like that. I was thinking in the fast section again. Let me undo everything I just did. Okay, we're back to normal. That was my bad. I just wasn't thinking in the full context of the song here. Regardless, this note is still incorrect. It should be an F sharp. I have to make sure that's not a mistake anywhere else. This definitely shouldn't be C sharp. Let me look. Let's just make it normal. Let's just make it a normal F sharp. Let's not go crazy. Sub bass is so much better than it used to be. With that little fix right here, so much better. Now let me just make sure it wasn't like that anywhere else. I don't think I had any writing like that anywhere else. Except for maybe the beginning here. Nope, but nope, they're both octave F sharps. Octave F sharp, and then A sharp. Why is it A sharp? Is that right? Yes, it's right. I had to remember what I did there. All right, now we got the drone and the sub bass going on over here. That's necessary. I gotta now expand the track list here because we're going to do a little bit of copying and pasting with this sub bass here. We kind of want the same sub bass for the second drop as well. Even though it's a little bit longer, we will adjust accordingly. Let me find the second drop right here. Okay, here's where we got to change it because the key changes. Let's do the simple, good old shift up. I believe the notes stay the same. Let me make sure that that's correct here by pulling this up. Oh, I wrote it in D. I always think I did it in a fifth. I wrote it in a third. My B. Let me change it. All right. I think it's the A sharp that changes. Let me verify here. I believe it should be an A. Oh no, it's an A sharp. Dun, 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 dun. Sub bass doesn't quite hit that note, but I can't retune it. that's slightly flat. I don't know if you can hear it. I think it's good though. I don't think it'll interfere with anything. I think they kind of correct in the brain a little bit. Yeah, it works, it works. Nothing to fear. Do the same with this. Bring it up. Then we're back in the key of B. Let me see if I can do any variation with this. Yes, I can. This right here can be doubled. Cool, okay. So then we have this little solo section to get us back in the key of B. And that's where we can once again kind of repeat this bass line we got going on here. Not this one because it's in a different key. This guy right here. We can change her up a little maybe. Let's see. Let's see what we need here. Oh, certainly not there. There we go. Certainly with this one, we got to do something with it. Let me find a place where I double here. This is probably more of a proper double that I wanted. Where did I try to double? Right here. There we go. Change that a little bit. Do a little bit of that. That should sound more natural. And again, doing it right here. Giving a little bit of a plucky sound. Not necessarily plucky, just the feeling of plucky. You can actually hear the, of course, if Twitch lets you hear that frequency, you can actually hear the separation of the notes, which is kind of the goal for this unnatural sub bass here. It also helps with the overwhelming sense of pulse that I went for in this track. For this entire track, I wanted you to be able to feel the pulse constantly, like it's like bearing down on you, like it's obnoxious how obvious it is. That was kind of the goal. Alright. Let me solo out the sub bass right here. Okay, the drone is alright. I know I separated it though. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. Yeah, see, I separated it into eighth notes, which is not normally something you do with the sub bass. You kind of want to keep it consistent the entire time, which I will. For simplicity's sake, I want the bridge here to be a bit easier on the ears. And I think right here when it changes, is growing in intensity a little bit. So I do want a little bit of separation starting. Maybe not necessarily for these beginning ones. Oh, whoops. For these, I want full length note. Let's try. Oh, and for this one too. I forgot this is a 7 measure phrase here. Right, okay. Good. That's it. Now it goes back to pulsing here. I don't necessarily know if I want that. I think I would much rather have a simple drone. Yep. I don't want to I don't want to overcomplicate the sub bass because it takes away from the effect that the sub bass has. So here, it's going to be a 4-bar phrase. Break. And then this final one is going to... Should we try to ascend it? It's kind of a risk to do that. Let's go ahead and do it. Why am I forgetting the key? I did it wrong, it's an E. Is that right? No, it is a high G. Start right here. Cool. So this ascending sub bass kind of does its own job at fading itself out, getting ready for the drop again, which works out because I was going to have to find another way to do that in terms of like volume and stuff, which I've done before, so it would have been, again, boring. But ascending it and kind of making it blend in with everything else kind of did the trick. I'm going to do the same thing with this line. Bring it up an octave. So it kind of fades itself out again. Getting ready for that final note. Cool. I'm going to add some fattiness to this last note here. Maybe bring I forgot. That's why I have two. These tracks can't play more than one tone at a time. Let me just go ahead and Command Z everything. There we go. Is that the sound that I want? Because we can go high on this one and low on this one. Oh god, last one was definitely better. Okay. We could bring the volume up on them. This is going to be an absurd amount. Kind of did the trick though. Let me do the same with this one. Maybe not that much. Let's bring it down. I want to go, let's give it 2 decibels, and then this one's going to get 4. A little bit of a volume boost on each of these here. That's better. More impactful. All right. Okay. Let's listen to it all again. I'm going to stop it right there because I once again don't like this square harp. This thing. I feel like this should go down an octave. Better. Let's hear it in context. So here, this this base sequencer here takes a little bit too long to rise. So let's bring this up a little bit. Let's bring this to a nice even -10. And then it can rise to a -6. I'm actually going to get rid of that that little bar here. Cool. Alright. Alright, let's go nitpicky again. Let's start from the beginning. Go chunk by chunk and see what works and what doesn't, and what needs to be changed, and all that stuff. Alright, so in this first part here, this bass sequencer is a little bit too quiet. I have it a whopping negative 30 decibels right now. Not sure why. I think the bass sequencer thing that I just did really worked. I think it really helped. Um, yeah, it did a lot. It was a small change, made a huge difference in the long run. Um, let's go to this little drop. I have an idea as to how to make it really impactful. Let's get to the track volume of this guitar. We're going to zoom in. We're going to completely cut out the audio when it's not playing. Because there's reverb and there's echo on it, it kind of distracts from the main point. And if this works well, I'm going to go ahead and do that in all the other sections. I have a feeling this is going to highlight the super saw we have going on really well. Let's try that. It does make a huge difference. All right. Let's go back to this. Let's go ahead and do it right here. It's a lot of really tedious stuff. But by cutting out these frequencies and allowing others to shine through, it becomes a lot cleaner and less busy. And the point of this track was to be kind of busy with it, but sometimes you just kind of gotta make it less busy to make other things shine through even better, which is the plan. Oh my gosh, scroll, there we go. Cool, okay, let's listen. Let's give her a listen. Okay. I'm going to go back to this again because I noticed that this might be in triplet mode. Is it? I think it is. It was, at least, but it didn't matter. It was just kind of making me angry because it's not supposed to be in triplets, so I fixed it already. Okay. Why are these the way they are? What are you doing? There's little like knees or knobs or whatever in places there shouldn't be. Okay, it's fixed now. Okay, so that's what we got so far. I really like this opening part. I can't get enough of it actually. This opening, what is it, 16 measures? But this part still kind of irks me. I don't know what to do with it right now. I like what we did here with the whole dropping out the sound. It really makes a good effect. So let's go ahead and do it right here. Do it right here. Take all this stuff. Drop the volume. Drop. Drop. There we go. A little bit over. Then I also want to toy around with the overall volume relationship between the super saw and the dusty guitar. That's what I'm changing right now is called the dusty guitar. What is this? What does this sound like? Okay. Okay. Right here. Just a little bit more. Oh, this is ascending or descending a little bit rather. It starts at, why does it start? What is going on here? Hold on, we gotta emergency fix this. This is disgusting. It's 0 here. No volume change. Where did it all go wrong? Right here. Why are you changed? Go to 0. You go to 0. 0. Go to 0. There we go. Oh, I had it. There we go. They were slightly raised for some reason. Have I done anything past this point? No. So I can undo those. Now it should all be 0. Yes, okay. We're good now. We're good. Back to dropping things. Okay. Drop this. Almost there. We're in the home stretch. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Okay. Last few bars here, I think. I think the key change is done. I think we're back in our home key, our nice, comfortable key. God dang it. Oh, I definitely put that in the wrong spot. There we go. And just like that, the dropping has been done. Now it just looks ugly. All right. Let's listen to it all again with that cut out volume. I can't go on anymore. I need to change this right now. this I want to call it the awkward F sharp. It doesn't work. Why does it look weird? It's because I didn't bring it up all the way, did I? Oh god, I undid more things than I needed to. I'm gonna go fix that. I meant to do this. There we go. With this being A sharp. Never mind. Hold on, I got a text, I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. I've like a whole ton of college stuff going on right now, so like I'm trying to balance things here. Okay, that stuff's done. That's all good to go. It's not going to bother me anymore, right? Switching these two sub basses around. What is this? It's like popping and stuff. It's crackling. I don't feel that this is the right bass guitar to do this on. Why is that segmented? Did I select it like that? My bad. Let's try that. Oops, I have it soloed. It's popping a little bit. See, I just feel I'm doing this on the wrong bass guitar. I don't quite know why I wrote it there. That sounds a lot more like what I want, minus the popping, of course, but I think I can get around the popping by doing this. Nope, definitely not. Maybe I just can't get around the popping. Maybe it's just in the track, in the actual sound itself. Oh, I know what that is. Oh, that's something that's just on my side. It won't come out in rendering. That's fine. Got me worried for a second. Okay, let's go ahead and fix these dynamics, and then, oops. This has to be much quieter, because we have this down at negative 10 decibels down here. Let's try to go negative 7. Hit it right on the money, that's perfect. All right, let's fix this up a little bit. Looks a little bad. There we go, that's a lot better. Take this out, sweet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the old save. Cool. And I think that is going to be it for this little stream. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Oh God, my chair. We're good. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It was huge progress made today. It was awesome. We're in the final stretch of this bad boy, which it's about time. So I'm gonna go ahead and collapse. Maybe not. Maybe collapse this. Open this up. Oh wait, no. I'm gonna do an end card. So never mind. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. Save again just to be sure. I'm gonna be back soon. Finals week is like upon me, so it's gonna be after that probably. Unless I get the urge to stream again, then will probably just stream. But yes, I will be back soon regardless. Thank you guys for watching. I will leave you with the full track as we have it. See ya.